Hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome to or back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another Planty video. Please appreciate the beautiful Luxe hybrid leaf that is coming in here beside me. I bumped it and it's torn at the top, but it is still just so immaculate. Very happy to have that one in the background today. So we are doing a Q&A repot with me, which I have not done in a long time. I can't even recall when the last one was, but it's been a while. So we are due for a catch up. And of course I have some plants that we're going to be repotting today. As always, thank you so much to everyone who submitted questions. When I went to go look at the questions to pull some out, there was 143 comments. So I won't be getting to them all, unfortunately. I do have a whole Q&A playlist, and some of the questions are questions that I get all the time that I've answered in the past, so I will be sure to link that down below in the description for you to check out. But I'm going to be answering as many as I can, and I'm thinking about doing a part 2 potentially. We'll kind of see what the rest of the month looks like, but I would like to be able to answer some more of them. Okay, I'm gonna start off by showing you all the plants that we're gonna be working with today. So first of all, which way was the front? This way, I think. It's kind of pointing all which directions. This is my stunning Hoya Lima silver. This plant has a really similar look to Hoya Matilde, but I find that the leaves can be a little bit more elongated. Like some of them are quite large. If you look at that one there as a good example, it's very silver, it's absolutely beautiful, and this is a really easygoing Hoya for me. It has a ton of peduncles on it, but I have not had it flower yet, so hopefully that will happen for me one day. I don't know what the trick. Sometimes I find this with some of my Hoya, they will just push out a ton of peduncles, but it takes a long time for them to actually flower. But then once they do actually flower, then they keep going. So I don't know what it's going to take to push this one to flower, but hopefully it'll be a frequent bloomer once it finally does. Anywho, this one needs a new pot because these self-watering pots that I got from Amazon probably like 4 years ago now, they're literally disintegrating. This is one of the last, if not the last one that I actually have in use. And every time I grab this, it's just like literally cracking away. So I need to get this into a different pot, basically just because of that reason. I don't think, I mean, I'm sure, oh yeah, okay, could use a repot, but it's not like, oh, we're losing pieces as well. See what I mean? It's not like screaming at me to repot it. It's mostly just because this is crumbling. So that one is going to be going into, well, I guess I don't need to explain what they're all going to be going into. We will discover that together when we get to them, I suppose. But yeah, Hoya Lima silver, stunning, and I'm really excited to repot that one actually. And then I guess this is a lot of Hoya. I was trying to pick out things that were easy to repot because when I'm answering questions and talking, it's hard for me to focus on more than one thing at a time, okay? So I don't want to have to be like making moss poles and doing like crazy things. So we're doing some pretty simple repots today, but still things that will feel good to get done. This is my Hoya Clemenciorum, which has not been doing well since it's been with me. We only have these 2 leaves. I think I've only got 1 new leaf in my care since I received this, which was like maybe a year and a half ago. I feel like this one is just not in a great pot. I want to get it into something with bigger drainage holes because I just drilled or like use a soldering iron to put these little holes in the bottom. But something about just those tiny holes combined with this pot, it takes a long time to dry out. Like I feel like this one is sitting moist for too long. So I'm gonna put it into just a regular 4-inch with some bigger drainage holes there so we can have a little bit more moisture and airflow happening. And then next we are going to be repotting one of my favorite Hoyas right now. Like this is just so freaking stunning. This is my Hoya pubicalyx silver or pink silver, or I don't know, whatever it is, ghost, or I can't remember the name anymore. Yeah, it's just a dream Hoya pubicalyx, like it really is. And I like that it's starting to give some, maybe some people wouldn't like this, but I kind of like the combination of some of the leaves being like completely silver like this, but now it's spitting out some leaves that have like a mixture of dark green and silver, and I just think that that is so gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really appreciating the diversity of leaves that we are getting on this one. I think it's just so pretty. And I'm gonna be upsizing this one to this pot, or why am I explaining the pots? We'll talk about that later. Oh my gosh, because I'm just gonna end up talking about it twice. Yeah, beautiful. And then next we're going to be repotting, or I guess potting up, because this has been in sphagnum moss, I think the whole time I've had it. This is an anthurium that I got from Cartel Down a while ago. It's a blue pap and Fort Sherman hybrid, and it struggled for a long time. This was a really like rough import batch that I got because they were sitting outside for a full day in the winter time. So I think I lost all of them except for this one, actually. This one was questionable for a minute, but it's really started to do better over the past few months. And yeah, it's time to get it potted. I'm excited to grow it out and see what it's gonna end up looking like. And then we have my Hoya Cortesii. These are rooted cuttings in sphagnum, and I've been meaning to pot these up for a while now. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I am super excited to grow out Hoya Cortesii again. I've mentioned this in the past, that this is like almost a nostalgic Hoya for me, because it was one of my first Hoya that I got like back in the day in like 2019 or 2020, whenever it was, but it was like a big deal to find this. I remember calling the plant shop and asking them to like put one on hold for me, because that was what you had to do back then to get your hands on some of these. And I grew that one out. It was beautiful. And then during one of my moves, I ended up rehoming it or selling it, and didn't have it in my collection for years, and it came back onto my radar because I've seen the flowers. I wasn't even thinking about Hoya flowers back when I first had this, but now I'm obsessed with Hoya flowers. So these just have really cool, interesting flowers, and I really want to grow this out to flower. They're also just pretty, like they trail beautifully, and I think it's an underrated Hoya, honestly. So yeah, I'm excited to try my hand at growing that one out again and hopefully getting it to flower. And then lastly, I have had these Hoya Cortesii silver cuttings just hanging in my windowsill forever. There's also Hoya Bella outer variegated, like one strand of that, which I honestly don't think I'm even gonna keep that Hoya. First of all, it's got mealies on it. And second of all, if I grow Hoya Bella again, I either want the sandwich variant or the inner variegated. Those are just my favorite. I don't think that I want to grow one that's just outer variegated, and yeah, this one I just don't feel like treating it and like keeping up with that and everything. So I'm probably just gonna take that strand out. But Hoya Cortesii silver, I do have one already, and that one's in pond, so I want to try this one in Molly's Aeroid mix and see how it does with that, because I'm still just trying to figure out this Hoya. I've been playing with different lighting conditions, and I just haven't had great luck with mine. So we're gonna be trying different substrates out as well to see what works best. But that is all. Oh my gosh, I just dumped water out onto my phone. That is all the plants. Well, at least that's all of the ones that I've grabbed right now. I'm probably gonna end up yapping a lot because I wanna answer as many questions as possible, but that's what I'm gonna be working on. My phone got the new update and it's so weird now. All right, I'm gonna pull up the questions and grab a potting mat because I forgot to go grab one. And then we'll get started. Okay, I tried to grab a lot of the questions that had thumbs up. And I guess that's something that I should mention when I do Q&As, like going forward. Just know that if a question has a lot of thumbs up, then I will try to prioritize that question. So if you see a comment, like a question that somebody's asked and you also want me to answer it, then give it a thumbs up, and that'll just make me more likely to see it and to prioritize it. Okay. Ooh, I love this potting mat so much. It's probably my favorite one. What should I even start with? I guess I'll start with the Hoya Lima. Let's do that. So now I can talk about the pots. I'm going to be using, for this one of my wavy leaf planters, which I have really been liking, by the way. And this one already has the mini leca in it. Oh, and some water apparently, because this had a begonia. I tried to put a begonia in here and then the cutting just didn't take, it croaked. So I'm just gonna reuse this. Like, a plant was barely even in here, so I think it's fine to reuse. What am I gonna dump this into though? Let me grab a container. I always use this random Tupperware to bottom water my orchids. I just stick them in and then fill this up. So I'm gonna use this to put the leca into. Okay. I guess I didn't have to dump it all, but whatever. Okay, let's get started with the first question. The first one is, how often do you get recognized in public? Does it make you uncomfortable? This really does not happen to me often. It's happened to me in the past, but it doesn't, like, maybe last year I got recognized twice, and that's it. I think that social interaction in general makes me uncomfortable, but I love meeting you guys. Like, I always, it's just such a cool feeling every time it does happen, even though it's very infrequent. I think the last time I met one of y'all was at the Ethel Cain concert, actually, which was so cool and so wild to meet someone there. Like, I was just not expecting that at all. I'm gonna try to loosen some of these roots up here. And it does just always give me a nice feeling, but also just, it's like a surreal feeling because I'm just sitting here talking to a camera. So when I can actually like make the connection that, wait, there's real people that are choosing to spend their time watching my videos, and I recognize how special that is. So it's always nice. I am a very shy and socially awkward person in general. So I hope that I don't come across like, I don't know. I hope that I come across as nice when I meet people, is what I'm saying, or trying to say. The roots are literally through the what is this called? Wicking thing. So I'm definitely gonna lose some of them. Have you ever had to deal with negative comments from family when it comes to your planty home? And if so, how do you respond to it? Honestly, no. I'm sure that people who come over here have their thoughts that they keep to themselves, but I've never had anybody say to me like, this is weird, or this is like whatever. So I don't know, I have not had to respond to that, luckily. And then I also paired this question with it because I felt like it was kind of, well, maybe it's not that similar. Anyways, the question is, do you ever feel guilty for having so many plants? I sometimes feel like it's taken over my life and taking time away from my husband. I have around 250 to 300 plants at this time. Do you feel like you miss out on other things? I do suffer from an autoimmune disease as well as anxiety, so sometimes it's hard just to get out of bed. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I answer this question and highlight this one because I don't want anybody out there to be comparing the amount of plants that I have and the amount of plants that I can manage to what you can manage, because content creation is my full-time job. So you really have to keep that in mind. Like, if I was out working a 9 to 5, I would not be able to manage this size of a plant collection. Or if I had, you know, just different life things, like this is my 9 to 5. Essentially. So sometimes I get questions like this, and I just like to remind people of that you can't compare to what you see online, especially when it's content creators who it's their job to be creating these videos and whatnot. So I don't feel guilty, but I can totally empathize with having a houseplant collection taking time away from other things, because I feel like my hobbies are just like battling each other out, even though I am lucky enough to you know, have a flexible schedule and be able to like film a plant chores video, and then that's like me working. I still feel the pressure of like, oh my gosh, it takes so much time. I wish I had time to do other things. Oh, this is like literally stuck, you guys, and I don't want to have to break off this whole root ball. Oh my gosh, this is not good. Maybe I wonder if I could like cut this mesh somehow, or like, where's the, so to speak to this person specifically, it sounds like your plant collection should only be what, like, if it starts to stress you out, then it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, I always feel like the answer to being overwhelmed and stressed about your plants is to downsize. personally. Like, I feel like that's the only thing that helps. Like, you know, I could give a million tips about doing whatever to stay on a routine and doing this or that, but I feel like downsizing, like, truly, it makes a huge difference. I haven't even done like a crazy downsize, but I probably got rid of 50 plants last year, and even that has made such a big difference. I don't know how I had like over 200 plants at one point. Our hobbies should be nurturing us and should be providing something therapeutic for us. It shouldn't be the other way around. And houseplants are such a strange hobby because it requires a lot of physical labor. It requires consistency even on days that you don't feel like it. But ultimately, I really think that our hobbies should be there for us, and they shouldn't be something that are causing us stress and are causing us like feelings of burnout. But yeah, I just want to talk about this one specifically, especially with the reminder that I'm very privileged in that this is my job. So it's just not like the average person to compare it to. Do you know what I mean? Oh, okay. Oh boy, I'm scared. Oh boy. Whoa, he's getting a root prune. Oh boy. As long as they're not all gone then. Okay, pull that through, and then let me move this. Wait, what's going on? Oh my gosh. That was brutal. I actually think that they look not that bad. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay. If you could, oh, I forgot to think about this. If you could resurrect one plant from the dead, which one would you pick? I meant to go back and look through my plants. I want to say my variegated Monstera Adansonii, because I wish that I had one, but they just always reverted. So if I could resurrect that one and have it just grow nicely, then that's what I would pick, because I love Adansonii, and I hate that the variegated ones are so stubborn. Okay, wait, this is not over yet because I still need to remove this stupid wicking thing. I guess I need to remove all this because I'm putting it into leca instead of pon. Oh boy. I don't know, what plants have I had in the past that I really loved? There's some plants that I would repurchase that I've had in the past, like the booby cactus. I would repurchase that one. I do kind of, I don't know if I would actually get one because I'm just trying to be so picky with what I bring in with space, but I love Epipremnum pinnatum albo. I just think that those look amazing when they start to size up and they're climbing, and they have shorter petioles, so which is something that I really love in a climber, so they're not taking up a lot of space. I got rid of mine not even that long ago. Like, I think in the fall I got rid of it, and I'm already like, I kind of want another one. But that doesn't happen to me very often. Usually I get rid of plant and I like, it never enters my consciousness again. What's your partner's favorite and least favorite plant? His favorite, I mean, honestly, he doesn't really like, he doesn't really say much about the plants either way, unless I'm like specifically showing him something. But he likes a Thai constellation. We've had that one for so long, and he likes the look of that one. He also was looking at the Florida Ghost the other day, and he was like, whoa, this plant is looking so crazy. He was like, isn't that the plant that's up here? Because it's like crawling along the wall as well. And I was like, yeah, that one's been growing on that pole like all year though. Like, you didn't notice that? He's like, no, I'm just noticing it now. I was like, yeah, that's one of my favorite plants of 2025. It's literally so nice. So he likes that one as well. And as for dislike, I'd probably say whatever's in the way, which there actually hasn't been a lot in the way lately. Like, I've kind of made the dining room so that it's more cleared out, but I don't think he really dislikes any of the plants unless they are like in an inconvenient spot. Then he's like, get this thing out of here. I used to have a lot of my poles and whatnot in the dining room, and he would always just be like, oh my gosh, like having to move them out of the way when people are coming over to play board games and stuff like that. But other than that, I really don't think that he thinks too much about the plants, to be honest with you. Oh, that's actually a perfect segue into the next question. You've mentioned you and your boyfriend like to play board/card games. What are your favorite/recommendations? So we basically play the games that I want to play because the games that he plays are like very intense, like intense strategy games. He's very serious about it. But me, I like card games or spatial puzzle games. Probably my favorite, or at least one of my favorite games, is Cascadia, which is a spatial puzzle game where you're like grouping animals together in different ways, and it's really fun. I highly recommend that game. And we also love Jaipur, Lost Cities, I think it's called, which those are both fun card games. Okay, I'm gonna be losing a lot of roots, I think, you guys. Lately, we've been playing My City, which is another spatial puzzle game where you're like fitting buildings together, kind of. And it's like a campaign, so after each game, there's like a new rule that gets added on for the next game. We're not finished with it yet, but we both really enjoy that game also. Okay. That is actually not as bad as I mean, we lost a bunch of roots, but we still have a bunch of roots, so it's fine. I also love this 2-player game called Botanic. It is like, again, a spatial puzzle game where you're like building a pipe, and there's like different flowers that you get extra points for, and it's just like a fun, quick 2-player game that we play sometimes like after dinner or something. Okay, I'm gonna go rinse this off quick, and then we will pop it into the leca. My hands are literally pruny from having my hands on that root ball for so long. Are you ever planning to get new tattoos? How do you feel about your tattoos at this time? I feel like every Q&A, I always get questions about my tattoos or a tattoo related question, and my answer is always the same. I don't have any plans to be getting more tattoos. Not to say I'm never gonna get another tattoo. It's just not really something that I ever like think to go spend my money on. First of all, I hate getting tattooed. Like, it's so painful and I just hate it. Most of my tattoos are 10 to 15 years old at this point, and I don't have the same vigor that I did back then. I don't want to spend my time or money sitting there being poked at, and yeah, I don't know. It's just not even something that I think about anymore. I think my tattoo days ended at the same time that I got a mortgage. Literally. I think the last time we went and got tattooed, like a couple of months before we moved here, and that's the last time I've been tattooed. So yeah, love tattoos, but it's just not like, I don't know. I just don't think about them like very often at all. It's not something that I'm like super into anymore. Okay, I just need to clip her back on here, and then we're done with this one. Rough start, but I think that is gonna be fine. I broke some of the leaves off. Whoopsies. Oh no, I broke a baby leaf. Ah, I hate that. So what is going on? Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's put this way. Okay, I'll have to find some more dragonfly clips later, but she is repotted into here now. Yeah, she needs to be tamed a little bit still, but I will do that after. She's gonna go in this pot, right? That is so much nicer. Oops, it's not straight. That is so much cuter than in that janky other pot. Okay, thrilled about that. Gonna set her off to the side. Pros and cons of being a YouTuber. There's probably so many. I feel like my biggest struggles are related to time management and work-life balance. Like, I feel like my job very much is like intertwined with my life, and that's something that I've talked about in therapy recently. And like she is talking about doing things off camera or like carving out time that's like specifically disconnected from being online or being on camera or whatever. So yeah, because it's so like, and this is how the time management thing is related, because if I don't get something done, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do it in the evening. But it's like, no, I'm trying to make it so that my evenings are like not like I'm done my work by the evening, but that just won't happen, and I'll end up working on things, and then I just feel like I'm like always connected to the internet and to content creation in some capacity, whether it's like, and it's not that I don't like it or want to be doing it, it's just that I should have a better divide between work and life, because it, like, I'll be doing things that I love doing, like answering comments and stuff like that, but it's still like I need to have more of a disconnect there, just for my own health and well-being. And what else? I mean, definitely a con is just like how financially insecure it is. Like, you never really know. It can be very up and down, which is why things like Patreon is so helpful to creators, because you're not just depending on an algorithm, or, you know, it kind of has your back, which I'm so grateful for. And just generally trying to keep up. Like, I'm not a big enough creator where I can just like pump out a couple of videos a month and have that pay the bills. Like, I need to like be constantly feeding the algorithm, constantly putting stuff out. So I think that can feel quite exhausting sometimes. And I just feel like I like don't have ideas, or like sometimes I just don't feel like filming, or I don't feel like whatever, but you just have to keep showing up, which is something I'm trying to be better at. Like, a lot of you guys comment and you're like, oh, you're like so consistent, but I don't feel like I am. Like, even this video, it should have been up on Monday, and it's probably not going to be going up until Tuesday. So I'm hard on myself when it comes to that, even though I feel like I don't spend much time like lazing around. Like, and that's like, I guess what I feel like. I'm like, oh my God, everybody's going to think that I'm lazy, or everybody's going to think that whatever. But like, I don't know. Time is just something that I really struggle with. Time and routines and like sticking to them, and change. Like, if something disrupts my routine, that's like very, very hard for me. So yeah, I guess that's just a con in itself, just like me battling me. But anyways, the pros. This is literally my dream job. Like, there's so many amazing things that I can say about it. I don't know why we started with the negative, but let's talk about some of the positive. This job is so fulfilling to me. It's definitely the most fulfilling job I've ever had. Like, when you guys leave comments and you tell me that you are watching my videos because you're having a hard time, or my videos like got you through this or that could honestly make me cry, because I know exactly how it feels to just need to disconnect and need to have some comfort or a distraction or whatever it is. Just like, I know how it feels to go through hard things and to struggle with mental health or whatever it is. So honestly, like, just reading people's comments like that, or any positive, like, kind comments, they really, really mean so much to me. That's probably my favorite thing about doing this, is knowing that I can be a comfort creator to someone, because I'm someone who has just gotten lost in watching my favorite people when I'm having a hard time. So it's so special to think that I could be that for someone else. I have flexibility, which is so, like, I have flexibility for literally like the first time in my life, because I've always like, when I was young, I've been working basically full time since I was 14, which is insane. Like, through high school, I worked 5 nights a week. And I've been working ever since then, and going to school and whatnot. And I never had any control over my schedule. And now I do, which is like so nice. And it's something that I have to remind myself not to take for granted, because I remember when I was working in the hospital and I would think like, oh my gosh, I wish that I was not doing shift work so that I could have an exercise routine, or I could do this or that. So I have to remember that, like when I'm going for my runs in the morning, just how privileged I am to be able to do that. And I really am just like so grateful for it all the time. This is a creative job, which I think is just so much more up my alley than things that I've done in the past. So that's one of my favorite things about it. Like, I genuinely enjoy editing. When I'm not like doing something last minute and feeling swamped, then yes, that's stressful. But when I get to just like relax and do the process, like I really love it so much. I get to do my hobby for a living and connect with other people who share the same interest as me. Like, that's the coolest thing ever. So yeah, that's probably my favorite things about this job. But there's so many things that I just love about it so much. Okay, I'm getting off as much sphagnum as possible from this, and then I guess I'll go rinse this one too, since we're putting it into leca. I always just like to get the roots like as clean as possible before I go into leca or pon. I'm not picky when I go into a soil mix, but leca and pon I kind of am, because I don't want this just like getting weird and mushy around the roots, you know? So I'm gonna go rinse this and I'll be right back. Okay, that is pretty good. So the next question, oh yeah, this one is kind of related as well. Do you ever think about stepping back from YouTube? What is your current relationship with being a content creator? And is it just a job or a creative outlet? I think I talked about a lot of that already. It definitely feels like a job in the sense that I'm like, I have to be doing this. Like I'm, you know, trying to keep on top of some type of schedule here and keep things moving. Like I don't just wake up every day and do whatever I want. Like I, you know, plan out my content every month and and I have to be getting things done. But it is also something that I'm really passionate about, and it's like literally my dream job. Okay, sorry, I have to go rinse this, but I feel like making your passion your job is it's a very sketchy thing to do, because once something becomes not just like you're doing it because you want to do it and you're doing it because you have to do it, your relationship with that thing inevitably changes, often not for the better. So I try to do things that keep me having a positive relationship with this hobby, you know what I mean? Because I don't, like, if I was not interested in making plant content anymore, I wouldn't do it. I have another channel that I could put more time and energy into. I could do something else, but I show up here because I truly enjoy it and I love this community. I feel so supported by this community. And yeah, so it's way more than a job to me for sure, but I treat it like a job because it is my job. Am I even making sense anymore? I don't know. Let's pour some, wait, what's going on? Anyways, enough about me freaking yapping about YouTube. I have been just like, I'm passionate about YouTube because I have been watching YouTube for a long time, like probably since 2011 or 2010, I would say I've been watching YouTube like chronically. So it still blows my mind that I get to do this for a job. The fact that I'm this lucky to be able to do this is crazy. Okay, let's pop this guy in. Hopefully this is gonna be okay. There's a new leaf coming in right now too. Wow, what a glow up this gives them. I feel like I say that every time I repot a plant, but I'm always just shook. Okay, let's see the final reveal. Oh my gosh, so cute. Love. I think this is the white color. I don't know, I still have trouble telling the white and the cream apart. I think this is the white. And it looks so good with the dark green leaves. Absolutely stunning. So really, really happy with that. Okay, the next question. What are your favorite spots to visit / things to do on Vancouver Island? It looks beautiful. we were actually having a conversation this weekend. We went and played cards with another couple, and they were talking about how Nanaimo, my city, was voted the #2 best place to live in Canada, or best city to live in Canada. I think Ottawa was #1, and then Nanaimo was #2. And we're talking about how crazy that is. Okay, my camera is overheating, which, like, can you not please? But we were talking about, or it was like inspiring a discussion about what we take for granted here, and making more of an effort to like utilize everything that we have around us. And like, I guess we were talking about how we are so stuck in our just like daily routines. Like, we go and walk on the same trail every day, and just like stay home on the weekends, and you know, whatever. But we are so lucky to be on this island and to be where we are located on this island, because we can drive up north, we can drive down south to Victoria and spend the day there. Like, we are in such an accessible spot. We can take the ferry over to Vancouver for the day, which is, you know, that is like, I think people sometimes think that I'm closer to Vancouver than I am, but going to Vancouver is like, we wouldn't really go there for a day trip unless it was for like an appointment, like a medical thing or something. But because it takes, like, you have to show up to the ferry at a certain time, and then it's like almost 2 hours, or like 1 hour and 45 minutes across on the boat, and then you have to like drive into town. Like, it's a bit of a procedure. So Vancouver is usually like an overnight thing. What am I even doing? Okay, let's do Hoya Cortesii. But yeah, it costs a couple $100s to drive across on the ferry. You can walk across for cheaper, but then of course you need to be taking transit when you get to the other side. So if you plan on like buying anything or anything like that, it can just kind of become a hassle. But anyways, my point was that we are very, it's a very great location because we're so close to so many different parts of the island, and also it's, you know, like relatively easy to go over to the mainland if you want to. As for specific favorite things or places that we like on the island, I honestly, like, one of my favorite things to do is to just spend the day in Victoria, because they just, you know, they have better restaurants there. It's so great for cycling, so we'll like go and take our bikes there for the day. Because they have like really great bike lanes and everything, and a nice like trail for cycling. Are these routes not good? I think some of them rotted, but there's some that are okay. And we love going to, they have like board game cafes and a beautiful waterfront. It's a really fun day to just go like bop around the city. There's Butcher Gardens there. Like, there's, yeah, I love Victoria. So we end up going there probably like once every, I don't know, month or two, and spending the day there. As for more like outdoorsy things, which is definitely what Vancouver Island is known for, we love camping in Strathcona. There's different campsites there, and it's just so pretty there. There's tons of trails and waterfalls, and just like literally some of the most beautiful places in the world, I'm sure. There's a lot of Gulf islands, like smaller islands that are surrounding Vancouver Island, so those are really great for going over to either camp or just like stay for a weekend or whatever. Like, I'm going over to a Gulf Island with my friends next month, which I'm really excited for. We rented a place to stay in there, and it's like on, I think it's on a lake, and it just looks so stunning. So it's perfect that you can just have like a little getaway like that. The Parksville beach is my favorite beach that I've been to. It feels like you're not in Canada. Like, it's, the water's warm there for whatever reason, and it's just so nice. We also have so many beautiful waterfalls here. I've been to Myra Falls, stunning. Elk Falls is beautiful. We were there last summer. Where else? Ammonite Falls, which is really close to here, and that's really pretty. So there's just tons of like beautiful hiking, and yeah, it's an amazing place to live if you are an outdoorsy person. So yeah, it's funny that we were talking about that article where we're ranked #2 or whatever, because we're like, wait, like why would we be ranked #2? But when you think about the climate, and it's more accessible to get into the housing market here than like Victoria or Vancouver. So there's like a bunch of different factors that they looked at. And I was kind of like, you know what? I guess it makes sense. So yeah, it's always nice to have that gratitude reminder. How old are your top 5 oldest plants? I think that my oldest plants are, well, the Thai constellation, which I got in 2019, I think. Wow, so I'll be coming up to 7 years on some of these plants. That's actually insane. Yeah, the Thai constellation, the Hoya compacta is definitely, I got that around the same time as the Thai constellation. Actually, I got the compacta before the Thai constellation, so that might be my oldest plant that I still have, which is wild. So yeah, like 7 years old, I think, are my oldest ones. The OGs, well, I'm gonna make a whole video about the OGs in my collection, actually. So let's, editing Fern, add that to your list so you can plan that video. But yeah, 7 years. Except for Greta, I've had her for like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years. Long time. That's my Marble Queen Pothos, if you're new here. Okay, we are gonna say a prayer for this Hoya curtisii because yeah, these roots are like sketch, but it does have some aerial roots coming out. So maybe if I lay it down on the soil, those will also root in. And I'm sure it'll be fine, honestly. I am gonna go water it through quick, but there is the curtisii. Hopefully I'll have a beautiful trailing plant one day. Do you recognize the faces and names of your longtime followers and patrons over the years when you read through your comments? We love you, and it's a beautiful little plant family you've made here. Thank you so much. Yes, of course I do. I noticed like some of you literally comment on my videos like as soon as I upload. Like there must be some of you that have notifications on, which I really appreciate, and you just like leave a little comment like as soon as they're posted. It's always like the same group of people, and I appreciate that so much. And of course I recognize, like I'm like, oh my gosh, there they are again. And yeah, people that leave consistent comments, and of course my patrons. I recognize a lot of the names that I see over and over again. Also, kind of the opposite thing happens where sometimes there will be a period of time where someone is consistently commenting on my videos. And you know, I see them commenting all the time. I comment back to them, like it becomes like a very consistent thing. And then suddenly I won't hear from them like ever again, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wonder what happened. Like what happened to so-and-so? Like you were in here all the time commenting. Hope everyone's doing well who's been on this channel and then left. But yeah, it's kind of funny how that also happens. Okay, I guess we're gonna do the Hoya coriaceae next. Oh my gosh, this comment cracked me up. Hey Fern, you just painted the bathroom and it's lovely. Thank you so much. What are your plans for the living room? Also, do you plan to do something for the downstairs to make it less creepy and spidery? Honestly, I don't think we're really gonna be doing much to the downstairs. It's technically not like part of the living space. It's a crawl space. It's just like, I think it's considered like a full height crawl space. It's not full height in terms of like a living space. It's only 6 feet tall, I think, but it's not like a lot of crawl spaces are like you literally have to crawl. But ours, we're lucky to have a 6 foot like unfinished crawl space that we can use for storage. And we also have like a gym, a mini gym kind of thing down there. We have like a weight bench and our bikes set up. So that's pretty much what we use it for. And really, I think the only thing that we're gonna do down there is just figure out better storage solutions. Like we wanna figure out some shelving. I've also been wanting to set up a seedling station for my garden because it's just very, like it gets very overwhelming when it's seed starting season and I have to accommodate not only my houseplant collection upstairs, but also all of my seedlings. So I think it'd be so nice to just have a dedicated shelf down there with grow lights that I can have my garden seedlings on. So that is something that I might do. But in terms of like aesthetics or like finishing it in any type of way, no, I don't think that we are gonna do that. It's probably gonna stay creepy and spidery. Would you ever get a cat? No, I really don't think that I would. I'm a pretty committed dog person. What are your plans for the outdoor garden this year? Will it be planned out and organized, or will you kind of just plant whatever you want, wherever you want? Love to you and hi to Olive. Thank you so much. I will give Olive a scratch from you. I honestly don't really know what I'm doing with the garden this year. Normally I start planning in December, and now we're coming up to the end of January and I haven't done anything. I feel like the garden just, I mean, it completely went out of control by the end of last summer, and then I was unwell and it was just like, yeah, nothing got cleaned up in the fall. Like, it's just a chaotic mess, which is fine because I'm like, whatever, it's good for the pollinators. So I'm just, that's my justification for it just staying as a big mess. But really, like, I don't know how much I will, well, I'll have to plan something because, or else that'll just be crazy. But I think that my like biggest thing for the garden this year is to plant less and to prune and trellis things up, because if you saw what my garden ended up looking like last summer, it was just, it always gets to the point where you can't even walk through it because the squash are going crazy, the tomatoes are falling over and growing crazy, and it's just so, like, it just becomes, just a second here, there's, is this low enough? I think that I might have to take some of this out. It just, yeah, it was just way overgrown. So my biggest goal is to just like keep things in check this year. And that's probably gonna mean planting less. Oh, there's Hoya Bella in here, get out of there. So yeah, and just keeping on top of like keeping it tidy, and because again, with hobbies, I don't want my hobbies to be bringing me more stress than they do enjoyment. So yeah, I'm just, I think I'm gonna be taking it at a pretty slow pace and trying to keep on top of things and plant less so that it's more manageable for me. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for that. I do plan out what's gonna go in each bed though, or I normally do. I haven't yet for this year. So I will hopefully be getting to that sometime soon. I just have not really like felt inspired to. I've been enjoying other hobbies. So yeah, hopefully the inspiration will strike sometime though. I am kind of bummed that I haven't been on top of things because I didn't, for example, plant my garlic this fall, which really sucks because I loved growing garlic last year. And I'm still eating my garlic that I grew last year, and it's like just, it's so exciting to be eating something from your garden, especially something like garlic that I use all the time, and it's like, it's so much nicer than the store-bought garlic. Like, my cloves are huge that I grew. So it sucks that but I just like, my life was not together this fall, as we know. So I didn't want to put that pressure on myself to get that figured out when it just wasn't necessary. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the garden right now, but maybe I will get really excited this spring. Like, I feel like the gardening, like kind of last year the same, all winter I was just kind of like felt kind of burnt out from the garden. And then spring came and I really got into the gardening mood, so we'll see what happens. Okay, Hoya Coriaceae, I should probably be finding a trellis for this because she's kind of going crazy, but we're gonna see how this one does in Molly's compared to the one that's in Pawn. Okay, we have 2 more Hoya to go. So let's start with, I guess let's do the Pubicalyx because this one is just so exciting. Did I just water this? Oh no, maybe that was yesterday. It is a little wet, maybe that was today, I don't know. What is that? Like springtails or something? I'm gonna try to just take this out with the trellis and see if it'll just stay, because I kind of like the way it's trellised. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than it has been in the past. Wait, let's get the pot ready first. I always do this. Get too excited. Whoop, what's going on? Table's getting crowded. Okay, next question. Hi Fern, I love your channels. You're one of my favorite content creators. Thank you so much. I know this can be a sensitive question and I'm sorry in advance if you've already answered something on this subject before. Are you autistic / do you think maybe you are? I'm only asking because I recently got diagnosed myself and I can see some resemblance in you. Keep up the good work. You shine bright. What way is this supposed? I think it's supposed to go this way. Is it? Yeah. That doesn't work. Okay. You're actually not the only person to say this, because I guess more so I get neurodivergent in general, not specifically autism. But I do have people ask this more so on my vlog channel. And the answer is, I've wondered, but I have no idea. I do resonate with some of the components of both autism and ADHD, honestly, but I haven't been diagnosed with, I haven't technically been diagnosed with anything except for anxiety. And my therapist thinks that I have OCD, but therapists can't diagnose in Canada, and my doctor won't refer me to a psychiatrist, so I don't know. I don't know what I have. So like I said, there are some things that I really resonate with, but then there are other things that don't really fit for me. So, and I know that not everything has to fit, but yeah, I honestly don't know, and I don't know if I ever will know, because I think it's a really long, difficult, and expensive process to get diagnosed as an adult here. I think it costs like $3,000 to $5,000 or something crazy like that, and you need like certain doctors to like you need people. It's I think it's just a very complicated and like thorough process. Like, it should be thorough, obviously. I think you would really need like a doctor in your corner pushing for that or something like that, and I don't have a great doctor, or like, I don't even really want to say that, but just we have a really severe doctor shortage here, so everything is just like you're pushed in and out. Like, nothing is, it's hard to get the appropriate mental health care, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, long story short, I don't know. I don't find that question offensive at all. So no worries. And I'm really happy for you that you got a diagnosis, because I can imagine that provides a lot of clarity. What are you looking forward to? Okay, let me pour this because it's noisy, which is why I'm like trying to talk or do it when I'm not talking. Any thoughts on getting Olive a playmate? I have a very complicated relationship with the idea of getting another dog. On one hand, I feel like I have a home to offer, and I want to give a home to a dog that really needs one. But on the other hand, I know that would require a lot of money. Like, if I'm adopting, for example, a senior dog is something that I would love to do one day, is to adopt senior dogs or dogs that have special needs or something like that. But I just don't know if that's right for me right now, especially with Olive aging. Like, she's almost 13. So, and just like with the cost of living and like financially, I just don't know if that is in my cards right now, or if I can mentally handle that right now. That is also something that I have to take into consideration. But one day I really want to do that. But to be honest with you, I think like Olive really loves just, she's very, and I think a lot of Chihuahuas are very bonded to their owners, and she doesn't really like, I don't think she really gets much from having another dog around. She just loves being with her parents. Like, she was always annoyed of Cadence. They got along, and luckily Cadence was so docile and so just like dum-de-dum-de-dum that Olive would snarl at her and stuff, and she wouldn't even care. Like, she was just the chillest dog ever, luckily. But I think that we will just have Olive, and then after that we'll see what the future brings. But I really just, it makes me really sad to just know how many dogs are out there that need homes. Like, I literally can't even think about it. So let's move on to the next question. What are you looking forward to the most in 2026? I don't know. Honestly, just like being a homebody. Yeah, I don't have any crazy plans. Well, hopefully I'll get to go to PEI this year, because I didn't get to go last year. I had to cancel my trip. But yeah, I don't really like, if you're new here, then I don't really like travel a lot. Although I am maybe not right now because of Olive, but maybe in the future I will travel a little bit. But we don't really have any crazy plans this year. I want to paint the house, like the rest of the house. I want to work on my mental health. I'm going to therapy every 2 weeks, which I literally hate, but I'm just like making myself do it because I've been scared to do therapy for like literally I should have gone like 15 years ago. So I'm just really trying to just work on my mental health and just be chilling, doing my hobbies. I'm so fulfilled just by doing my hobbies. Like I don't need to be doing anything too crazy. So yeah, nothing like crazy in particular that I am looking forward to. But I am excited for this year nonetheless. I really want to just like, I don't know, work on my mental health. Like I said, like that's like genuinely something that I'm like feeling motivated about sometimes and excited about. I want to read a lot of books. I set my reading goal to 120 books this year, which is like kind of deranged, and I'm already kind of falling behind on it, but there's just so many books I want to read. Like it's crazy. Favorite recipe that you can't stop making. If you watch the vlog channel, then you know I have several recipes that I kind of just like keep on rotation. Kung Pao tofu is one of my favorites right now. I do a spicy garlic or magic garlicky tofu recipe that you maybe have heard me talk about before. I also have been doing this butter bean. It's like a really easy, quick butter bean meal, and it's so yummy. And what else do I do? Those are probably the main ones. I make a lot of like tofu rice bowls. Do you get overwhelmed by your plant collection? What's going on? Click something. Care, placement, issues, etc. Yes, I do. I get overwhelmed by it all the time, which is why I really try to stay on top of a schedule, because I guess I don't really get that overwhelmed. Just pests are the only thing that like stress me. Well, not the only thing, but I feel like I've kind of resolved my underwatering issue, thankfully, and yeah, I try to stay on my routine, which is hard to do sometimes because, you know, you want to wait until the mood strikes or the motivation strikes, but sometimes you have to create the motivation for yourself to not become overwhelmed later on. So something that I try to remind myself of. But yeah, the short answer is yes, I do get overwhelmed by it for sure. And then I get rid of plants when they're overwhelming me. Do you ever think about doing a different job other than YouTube? Have you ever thought about going back to nursing? No, I don't think I'll ever go back to nursing. And I don't think about doing a different job. Okay, the camera overheated on me for like the third time. So I just took a little break and left it off for a few minutes. So hopefully it won't do that again. But what was I talking about? Have I ever thought about doing a different job other than YouTube, I think? Honestly, not really. I recognize that I'm not going to have this job forever. Like, I don't know how long. I will keep making videos for as long as people are watching and I'm enjoying it. And I don't see that ending anytime soon, but I recognize that it's, you know, probably not a forever job. Like I said earlier, this is my literal dream job, and yeah, I think I also, like, that's why I put a lot of pressure on myself to be, like, I don't know, trying to do a good job, because I don't want to squander this opportunity. Like, I just feel like I'm so lucky to be in this position that I'm like, okay, like, I have to be doing a good job, and I have to be keeping up with this, and I have to, like, you know, I have a lot of pressure on myself. I guess that could have fit into the cons that I was talking about earlier, but like I do feel a lot of pressure all the time, basically, because like I'm the only person here that's like making this happen. Anyways, do we have any hobbies? Do you have any hobbies we may not know about? Honestly, I don't think so, because, well, maybe if you just watch this channel, maybe, But this is why I have the vlog channel, because I have too many things that I'm obsessed with that I like yapping about. I feel like my main hobbies are houseplants, reading, gardening. What else do I do? I do crochet sometimes. I have been doing those like diamond art things. I actually haven't done that in a few weeks, but I do want to get back to it because that is such a nice, relaxing thing to do while just like watching a YouTube video or listening to an audiobook. I love like little relaxing things like that. Oh, my nails. That's a really big hobby for me, is painting my nails. And what else? Cooking. Is that a hobby? I don't know. I like cooking. I like food, which is why I like cooking. Maybe I can just leave this trellis on. I like thrifting. I honestly, like, I feel like you guys probably know a lot of this stuff. So there isn't really anything that I do offline, which, again, this is something that I've talked about in therapy because, like, there probably should be some things that I do offline. But yeah. What's your view on religion / spirituality? I am not religious nor spiritual. I used to like be more interested in spirituality and like that kind of stuff, but now I'm just like not. I do have some reasons for that, but ultimately I just don't really believe in anything. Like, to be completely honest. Is that like nihilism, where I think that we are just, I don't think that there's like a deeper meaning for us being here. Like, I think that we just are here and there's not like any special powers or any special, like, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I think. And maybe that is like not the most romantic view to have on life, but also it kind of is. Like, it's kind of freeing in a way. So, yeah. I don't think that there's any like afterlife or anything like that. I feel like I've always been skeptical of things like my whole life. Like even when I don't want to be saying things because I don't know if people have their kids in the room, but like things that we are told to believe in, I don't really have memories of ever believing in it. Like I always just remember being like, that seems kind of sus. And that's kind of how I always have felt about religion. Like I grew up in a Christian household, but I went to Catholic school my like kindergarten through grade 12. But I feel like I always had this hesitancy. Like I always just thought like, that actually sounds kind of insane. Like, what do you mean there's like a man in the sky who like whatever, all these crazy things. Like, what do you mean? But anyways, if you are religious, all the power to you. I do not feel like having that discussion at all. Okay, let's get this last one done. I rinsed out this pot. This is the one that the Hoya pubicalis was in, and now my clemenciorum is going to be going in here with, I guess, the last of my mollies here. I do have another bag downstairs, or another couple bags. Oh, I might have to use some of the old stuff. This is like literally almost empty and I don't feel like going downstairs right now. Next question, tips for dealing with plant burnout. I literally feel like the only tips I have are downsize plants. Like that's like the number one thing. And number two is try to carve out a routine that you can stick to. Because that, or adapt your collection. I guess I do have more tips, never mind. Or adapt your collection to make care easier for you. Like the changes that I've made, putting more plants into semi-hydro, getting that electric water, which has literally like changed my life. So yeah, there are changes that you can make to make it more manageable. But I think in general, like sticking to a care routine as much as you can, or just like make the care routine something that you are able to stick to. and downsize. Oh, also, I like to plan ahead what I'm doing, because sometimes it's my like plant care time and I'm just like wasting time because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm overwhelmed because there's like 200 plants in here and I'm like, okay, what needs to be done? So this morning I got up and I knew, like, today my little Google Calendar, which I live by, says plant care from 6 to 7 a.m. and I know, like, I have a little note that says I am spraying down the plants in the Mills bow and in the living room window. Like, that's what I'm doing this morning. So I feel like it helps a lot to know what you're doing, so that you're not feeling overwhelmed and feeling like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Because I know how it feels when there's so many things that need to be done that you don't even know where to start. So yeah, like, keep lists, that kind of thing is also helpful. But yeah, I feel you. It is a very all-consuming hobby. Like, it really is. And you are definitely not alone for feeling like that. Okay, that's the end of the Molly's bag. It's always sad to see because this stuff isn't cheap, but I do continue buying it because my plants really like it. Okay, let's just add some of this into here. This looks like it was like a mixture of Molly's and something else. Anyways, I'm hoping that with these big holes at the bottom of this pot, it is going to be more airy for this plant, because I do feel like it just needs, oh, I'm like putting pond in here too. Okay, it just needs a little bit of more fluffiness. Wow, great grammar. A little bit of more fluffiness. Wild fern 2026. Okay, that is it for this one. It still looks ugly, but hopefully she will grow in some leaves for us. That would be dandy. Okay, I still have so many questions that I selected, but I only have 7 more minutes to wrap this up, so maybe I'll choose one to be the last question. Oh, somebody was asking tips for new runners. I don't know that I'm equipped to be giving any tips for new runners. I use the 10K runner app, or I was at least. Now I'm just running 5K 3 times a week because I've been having some like different little pains and stuff that I'm trying to not be like constantly creasing right now. I want to just like stay at that for a while. But I did see that Harley G put out a running for beginners video, which I have been meaning to watch. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm definitely going to, because she is definitely the person to be giving advice on that. So if you haven't seen her video, I definitely recommend that you go watch that one. But yeah, as for specifically, this person said, I struggle with anxiety, and for some reason the come down after a run can trigger it, which is really interesting. I don't think that I have specifically dealt with that, so unfortunately I don't have any advice on that specifically. So I'm sorry, but I'll link Harley's video for anyone that wants to watch it, because running has been something that has been just so, did I just say that twice? Running has been something that has been, yeah, I guess, or running is something that is, what is going on? I'm really enjoying running, and I feel like it is good for me. It's getting me outside more. It's getting me moving more. It is like, I'm trying to implement more exercise because I know that it's good for my mental health and physical health, but I feel like I mostly work out for my mental health. And yeah, I really do love running, and it is something that, like, you know, it's kind of fun. Like, I love getting out there with my music, and I feel so accomplished. I go for my runs early in the mornings, and I come back and I've already gotten in like 7,500 steps for the day, and it's just like such an amazing feeling to be starting the day off feeling so accomplished. So yeah, I feel like that alone, and like sticking to something, like I'm almost at 4 months of consistently running, and just like sticking to something is such a big boost to my like self-esteem and my relationship with myself. So yeah, highly recommend. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Like I said, I might do a part 2. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. The soil always, oh. The soil always takes me out. Let me know, comment down below if you would be interested in seeing a part 2, or if you're tired of hearing me yapping, because I know these videos are just long and chatty. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out, especially if you made it to the end of the video. What's an emoji that we can put in the comments? What did we talk about? I talked a lot just about like freaking YouTube. So leave the little like video camera emoji in the comments if you watch to the end. And thank you so much to everyone who submitted the questions. I really love just sitting down and having these chatty videos, so I really appreciate that you watch them and watch any of my videos. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.